The phone vibrated against my desk for the 14th time that Thursday afternoon. Mom's face lit up the screen, that same photo from 3 years ago when she could still smile without asking for something. My finger hovered over the decline button as my coworker Santiago glanced over. "You gonna get that, Julian?" I pressed decline and watched the screen go dark. 8 years. 96 months. $1,440,000 of my hard-earned money, all gone into the bottomless pit of her needs while my older brother Terry lived rent-free in her basement, contributing absolutely nothing. Now she was sick, breast cancer, stage 3, according to the voicemail she'd left 2 days ago, and suddenly I was supposed to forget everything? The woman who chose him over me at every turn now needed me to be her savior. My phone buzzed again. Text message: "Julian baby, please, I need to talk to you. It's important. I'm scared." I could feel Santiago's eyes on me, but I locked my phone and slid it into my drawer. Let it ring. Let her feel what I felt every time she dismissed my struggles while babying a 34-year-old man who never worked a real job in his life. "Everything cool?" Santiago asked. I nodded, jaw tight. "Yeah. Everything's perfect." But my hands were shaking, and memories I'd buried were clawing their way back up. 8 years ago, I was 23, fresh out of college with my engineering degree and my first real job at Morrison Technologies in Atlanta. I was making $62,000 a year, not rich, but comfortable for a young black man who grew up in subsidized housing in South Memphis. That's when Mom called with tears in her voice. "Julian, baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do. They're threatening to foreclose on the house. Your daddy's life insurance ran out, and I'm 3 months behind." Dad had died when I was 19, heart attack at 47, probably from the stress of working 2 jobs to keep us afloat while Terry dropped out of high school and sold weed on the corner. Even then, Mom defended him. "He's going through something," she'd say, like that excused everything. So when she called crying about the mortgage, I stepped up. "What kind of son lets his mother lose her home? How much do you need?" I asked. "Just $1,500 a month would cover it," she said. "Just until I get back on my feet." Just until. Those words became the biggest lie of my life. I set up the automatic transfer that same week, $1,500, first of every month, like clockwork. My budget got tighter. My dream of buying a condo vanished. Dating became expensive and rare. But I told myself it was temporary, that I was honoring Dad's memory, being the man he raised me to be. Terry lived in Mom's basement like it was a luxury penthouse. No rent. No utilities. Free food. I'd come visit on holidays and see him posted on the couch playing Xbox, wearing $200 sneakers I knew he didn't buy with job money because he didn't have a job. What's Terry up to these days? I asked Mom during Thanksgiving dinner, year 2 of my payments. She got defensive immediately. "He's looking for work. The economy's tough, Julian. Not everyone's as lucky as you." Lucky. Like I hadn't studied my ass off while he was cutting class. Like my degree appeared by magic. "Mom, he's 28. He could work at Target, Walmart, anywhere. He just doesn't want to." Her eyes went cold. "Don't judge your brother. You don't know what he's dealing with. He's got depression, anxiety. He needs support, not criticism." But my bank account hemorrhaging $1,500 monthly? That was just expected. I looked at Terry sprawled across her furniture. He smirked at me, actually smirked, like he knew exactly what he was doing and knew she'd always pick him. That's when I started counting. Every month I sent that money, I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every transfer felt like swallowing glass, but I kept doing it because I loved her. Because I thought family meant something. Because I was too stupid to see that to her, I was just the reliable one, the cash machine, the son who didn't need her the way Terry apparently did. Year 4. I'd met someone, Reagan, an accountant from Decatur with a smile that made me forget about my shrinking savings. We'd been dating 8 months when I finally told her about the money. We were at her apartment, planning a weekend trip to Savannah. I was doing the mental math on costs when she noticed my hesitation. "What's wrong? It's only $300 for the hotel. I know, I send my mom $1,500 every month for her mortgage. Money's tight sometimes. Reagan's face did something I'd seen before, that mix of sympathy and judgment. $1,500? Every month? For how long? 4 years. She set down her wine glass. Julian, that's $72,000. You could have bought a house. She's my mother, I said, defensive. The house is paid off, Julian. I looked up the property records when you told me the address. Your mom owns that house free and clear. Been paid off for 6 years. The room started spinning. What? There's no mortgage. So where's your money going? I called Mom that night, hands shaking with rage. Mom, is the house paid off? Long silence. Well, technically yes, but Julian, I have other expenses. You told me you were behind on mortgage payments. You've been lying to me for 4 years. I wasn't lying, I was simplifying. I need that money for bills, for groceries, for keeping Terry comfortable while he does nothing. I shouted. You scammed your own son. She cried. God, how she cried. Through the phone, I could hear that wounded mother voice she'd perfected over decades. Julian, how can you say that to me? I raised you by myself after your father died. I sacrificed everything. You didn't raise me by yourself. Dad was there until I was 19. And you're not sacrificing anything. I am. I'm the one who can't save money, can't travel, can't build a life because I'm funding Terry's permanent vacation. He's sick, Julian. Mentally. He can't he's not sick, he's lazy. And you enable him. She went silent. When she spoke again, her voice was ice. If you feel that way, then stop sending money. I'll figure it out myself. It was a trap. The ultimate guilt trip. Stop sending money and become the villain who abandoned his struggling mother. I knew it. Reagan knew it. She was watching me with this look that said, don't you dare back down. But that voice in my head, Dad's voice, whispered, take care of your mama. I sent the money the next month. And the next. And the next. Reagan left me 3 months later. I can't watch you set yourself on fire to keep people warm who won't even thank you, she said. She was right. But I couldn't stop. Not yet. The guilt was too heavy, too deep, too woven into who I thought I was supposed to be. Year 6. I got promoted to senior engineer. Salary jumped to $95,000. I thought maybe now I could breathe, save something, build the life I deferred. Mom called 3 days after I mentioned the promotion. Julian, I'm so proud of you, baby. Listen, I've been thinking, with your new salary, maybe you could help me with some repairs on the house? The roof needs work, maybe $2,000. And just like that, my raise was spoken for. Mom, I just started affording to save. I knew you'd say no. I knew my own son would leave me with a leaking roof while he... Fine. I'll send $2,000. I hung up and threw my phone across my apartment. It cracked against the wall, screen shattering like my last nerve. I called my cousin Owen that night, drunk on whiskey and rage. Man, you gotta cut her off, he said. She's using you. She's my mother. And Terry is her son, but that doesn't stop him from being a worthless piece of shit. When's the last time he contributed anything? I couldn't answer. Because the answer was never. Terry had never contributed anything except excuses and Mom's unwavering, irrational loyalty. Next month, I told Owen. Next month I'm cutting her off. But next month came and I couldn't do it. The guilt was a living thing, wrapped around my throat, whispering that I'd be betraying Dad's legacy, abandoning family, becoming the bad guy. Year 8. Month 94 of sending money. I'd transferred $141,000 total when my phone rang with a number I didn't recognize. Is this Julian Thompson? This is Nurse Bailey from Memphis General Hospital. Your mother, Phyllis Thompson, was brought in yesterday. She's listed you as emergency contact. My heart stopped. What happened? She collapsed at home. We ran tests. It's breast cancer, stage 3. It's treatable but aggressive. She'll need chemotherapy, surgery, probably radiation. Is Terry there? My brother. There's no one here, honey. She's been alone since admission. Of course he wasn't there. I drove 6 hours to Memphis that night, my mind racing. Despite everything, she was still my mother. Cancer didn't care about our dysfunction. When I got to her room, she looked small in that hospital bed, grayer than I remembered. She reached for my hand. Julian, thank God. I'm so scared. Where's Terry? I asked. She looked away. He said hospitals make him anxious. He needed some space to process. He needed space? Mom, you have cancer. Don't start, she whispered. Please. I need you right now, not your judgment about your brother. Even then, even facing death, she defended him. I stayed for 3 days, talking to doctors, understanding treatment costs. Her insurance would cover most of it, but she'd need help at home during recovery. 2 weeks later, Mom was home starting chemotherapy. I'd been calling every other day to check on her. Terry never answered when I called the house. Then Mom called me with a request that made my blood boil. Julian, I need to ask you something. The chemo is making me so weak, and I need someone here full-time. I can't pay a nurse, but if you could send an extra $1,000 a month, I could pay Terry to be my caretaker. I actually laughed. A bitter, angry laugh. You want me to pay Terry to do what a decent son would do for free? He's struggling financially. He's struggling? Mom, I've sent you $141,000. What has Terry sent? What has he contributed? He can't afford, because he doesn't work. He lives in your house, eats your food, uses your electricity, and now you want me to pay him to pretend to care that you're dying. She started crying. Why are you being so cruel? I'm sick, Julian. I have cancer, and you're attacking your brother. I'm attacking reality. Where is he right now, Mom? Right now, while you're on the phone begging me for more money. Silence. Then, quietly, he went to his friend Ezekiel's house. He said he needed a mental health break from the stress of my diagnosis. I hung up. Just hung up. No goodbye, no I love you. Just pressed end and sat in my car outside my job shaking with rage so pure I thought my chest would explode. 3 months into her treatment, Mom called sobbing. He's gone, Julian. Terry is gone. What do you mean gone? He packed his stuff and moved in with some girl named Honoris he met online. He said watching me go through chemo was triggering his trauma and he needed to prioritize his mental health. I sat in stunned silence. So your cancer is traumatic. For him. I need help, baby. I can't do this alone. The chemo makes me so sick, I can't drive to appointments, can't cook, can barely shower. Where's Terry? I told you, he's with... No, Mom. Where is your son who lived rent-free for 8 years while I paid your bills? Where is the man you always defended, always protected, always chose over me? She was quiet for a long time. Julian, please. I know I haven't been fair to you. I know I took advantage. But I'm begging you now, I need you. Did you ever need Terry? Ever ask him for $1,500 a month? Ever demand he grow up and contribute? He couldn't or wouldn't, Mom? Because there's a difference. I could hear her breathing, ragged and weak from the chemo. Part of me wanted to cave, to be the bigger person, to rush to Memphis and save her because that's what good sons do. But another part, the part that had been bleeding money and self-respect for 8 years, was done. I'll think about it, I said, and hung up. She called 16 times the next day. I let every single one go to voicemail. Julian, please pick up. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow and I can't drive. Please. Baby, I'm sorry for everything. I know I favored Terry. I was wrong. Please call me back. I'm getting sicker. I need help. You're all I have. That last one almost broke me. You're all I have. Because the son she actually wanted had abandoned her the second things got hard. I called Owen instead. She's blowing up my phone. Says she needs help getting to appointments. So she finally noticed you exist. I feel like shit, D. She's got cancer. Julian, listen to me. You've been her ATM for 8 years. You paid for Terry's lifestyle while he contributed nothing. Now she's sick and his ghost, and suddenly you're supposed to forget all that. She's my mother. And you're her son. A son she used. Where was her concern when you were struggling? When Reagan left you? When you couldn't save money or buy a home because you were funding her lies? He was right. I knew he was right. But guilt is a powerful drug. The next day, Mom called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered without thinking. Julian. Thank God. This is my neighbor Ms. Hattie's phone. I fell in the bathroom. I can't get up. I hung up and blocked the number. Then I turned off my phone and sat in the darkness of my apartment, wondering if I was becoming the villain or finally becoming free. 2 weeks of silence. Then my phone rang from Memphis General again. Mr. Thompson? Your mother was readmitted. She had a fall, broke her hip. With her weakened state from chemo, she's in serious condition. She's asking for you. I drove to Memphis, but this time it felt different. No panic, no urgency, just cold obligation. When I walked into her room, she looked worse than before, bruised, broken, barely there. Julian, she whispered, reaching for me. I didn't take her hand. Where's Terry? I don't know. He won't answer my calls. Funny how that works. Her eyes filled with tears. Baby, I'm sorry. For everything. I see it now, how I treated you, how I enabled him. I was wrong. It was what I'd wanted to hear for 8 years. But now, watching her perform remorse from a hospital bed because she finally had no other options, it felt empty. You're sorry now because you need me. Would you be sorry if Terry was here instead? She closed her eyes. Probably not. I don't know. I always felt like he needed me more, like you were strong enough without me. So you punished me for being strong? For being responsible? Yes, she whispered. And I'm sorry. I sat down in the chair beside her bed, looking at this woman who raised me, who I loved despite everything, who used my love like currency. I'm not sending you any more money, Mom. She nodded. I understand. And I'm not moving back to Memphis to take care of you. Okay. I'll help you find resources, social workers, Medicare, community assistance. But I'm done being your solution. 3 days later, I was organizing Mom's discharge plan when Terry showed up. I was in the hospital cafeteria when I saw him walking toward the elevators, looking perfectly healthy and unbothered. Something in me snapped. Terry. He turned, and I saw it, that flicker of guilt before he put on his defensive face. Julian. I was just coming to check on Mom. 3 weeks after she broke her hip. How generous. Man, I've been dealing with a lot. You've been dealing with a lot. She has cancer and a broken hip, and you're dealing with a lot. People were staring now, but I didn't care. You lived in her house for free for 8 years. 8 years, Terry. While I sent $1,500 every single month. And the second she actually needed something from you, you disappeared. You don't understand. No, you don't understand. You're 34 years old. You've never held a job longer than 3 months. You've contributed nothing to anyone ever, and Mom enabled every second of it while squeezing me dry. He stepped closer, trying to intimidate me. She's our mother. She needed help. And where was your help? Where were your $1,500 monthly contributions? Where were you when she fell in the bathroom? His jaw tightened. I can't afford, because you don't work. You're a professional child, and she made you that way. But I'm done. I'm done funding this dysfunction, done being the responsible one while you coast, done feeling guilty for having boundaries. Terry's face twisted with rage. You always thought you were better than me. I am better than you. And you know what the sad part is? You could have been better too. But it was easier to let Mom baby you, easier to let me pay for everything, easier to run away when things got hard. Mom was discharged to a rehabilitation facility covered by Medicare. I helped her apply for disability assistance and connected her with a social worker who specialized in cancer patients. I did what a son should do. I made sure she had resources. But I didn't become the resource. The day before I drove back to Atlanta, I visited her one last time. She was sitting up in bed, looking stronger than before. Julian, I want you to know something. I called Terry. Told him he's not welcome in my life anymore unless he gets his act together. I spent 8 years watching you sacrifice while he took. I see it now. It should have felt like victory, but it just felt sad. Why now, Mom? Why does it take losing everything to see what was right in front of you? Because I was scared of losing him. He was always the one I worried about, and I thought if I stopped helping him, he'd disappear. So you pushed away the son who stayed. She nodded, crying. I'm sorry. I know it's too late, but I'm sorry. I kissed her forehead. It's not too late to change, Mom. It's just too late for us to go back. I drove back to Atlanta with windows down, music loud, feeling lighter than I had in 8 years. My phone buzzed, a text from Terry. You're really gonna abandon Mom like this? You're cold, man. I blocked his number and smiled. I wasn't abandoning anyone. I was finally choosing myself. And if you believe people should value themselves instead of being used by family members who contribute nothing, hit that subscribe button. Only manipulators and freeloaders won't. Comment I choose myself if you refuse to be someone's ATM while others take advantage. And if you can't stand people like Terry who use family as an excuse to never grow up, drop a like. This is Julian, signing off, 8 years poorer in money, but infinitely richer in self-respect. The phone in my drawer is silent now. And I've never felt more free.